Hi guys, welcome to Sons of Cain. This week we've got a different type of video for you. It's my journey through karate. We're going to be looking at intensity training.
So what we're going to show you is what we've seen and how we can sort of change that to give you a bit more dynamic training. Right, what I'm going to do is teach Callum a technique, and then I'm going to adapt that technique for Kev. But what we're going to do is show you what we call the 4 levels of intensity. These are things that we've seen, and you'll see what we mean when we go through it. So first technique, we call this big hooking punch, we call it a chav punch. That's what our nickname for it. But we have a kata called Shinsei Dai. I like the name of the kata, it means magnificent truth. And there's a move in it where we're coming in and we have this motion, one side, then the other side, and it repeats. So with Callum, what you do is leading with the elbow this way, so it comes through, and at the same time the other elbows come through. So it's almost like you're saying a great big hello, if you like. You're doing it one way, and then when you're turning the hands, stepping through, and coming another way. Okay. And like all katas, we repeat this 3 times. So what I'm going to do is show you. I asked about bunkai from a few people, and one I was given, there's a nice straight punch in that comes there and waits for you, and what you're doing is this breaking technique. And I do like it when my opponent stands there and leaves his arm there for me. So punch is going to come in, we're going to do nice and slow, going to be a nice big punch as they come in, just so you get I'm doing big motions so you can see the technique. So as he comes in, I'm covering my whole body and I'm blocking with this, and I'm aiming with my elbow. If I miss the punch, I've got good cover. And this one is coming in and round. And what I'm doing is using a hammer fist at any available target, and then if I want, I'm coming back on myself doing the same motion. So when I attack Callum, so it's going to be a nice left punch. The trick with this technique, able-bodied, stepping into the attack. So as he comes in, he's launched in, simultaneously it's going to be a hammer fist strike, it can be an elbow strike, it doesn't matter. It's going to bring that back, striking, elbowing, hammer fist, and then he can go in, if he slides his arm underneath, he can come over, brings that down, he's got a lock. As we always say, it's what presents itself at the time. It's a simple technique. I actually got the bunkai, I did a bit of research on pancration, and I actually saw this technique being done. So I thought, I like that. We tried it out and we've adopted it. What we talk about is the level of intensity for training. Level 1, we've actually introduced a new level. Level 1 is you're learning the technique. So we do a nice, as we say, these techniques, leaving the arm out. You can do the technique and it gives you building up confidence in adapting the technique. So it has a place. Level 2 will be building a bit more contact. So I come in a bit faster, swinging in, boff, boff. So he's training the technique. The third would be full contact. So if I throw a big punch, I'm not going to do it at the moment, but the trick with this, if I throw a punch and the technique doesn't work, I am not going to stop, he is not going to stop and try and figure out the technique. He's going to go and move into what's ever available. So it also teaches us adapting for our mistakes. We've introduced a level before level 1, we call it McDojo level. And we have seen this on a few things, and I think it's dangerous because it installs false confidence. So literally, I want you to just do a wrist lock. So if I've got on, he comes over, and as he puts the wrist lock on, I literally go, I'm falling up, literally just any contact, or if I'm punching, they do a block, and it's like, oh, and then they're throwing a punch, not even making contact, and I can see what they're trying to do, but it's installing false confidence into people. I've seen people allow themselves to be thrown because of the ability, gender, or whatever of their partner, as Kev will tell you, he has to work twice as hard to get that technique to work. So we've seen this, you've probably seen it yourself. We've called it the McDojo level. Level 1, brilliant, get the technique. Level 2, speed it up. Level 3, full intensity. If you make a mistake, you're continuing. You're going to get hurt. Once you accept that, a lot of the fear goes. So, with this one, I'm being aggressive to Kev. Level 1 intensity, I'm going to teach the technique. We've done this a few times, so he probably, if I'm just suddenly come up to him, he wouldn't be in a nice guard position, he'd probably come up, cover, whatever cover position I've come in. So as I bring that punch, he's there already. So there's the technique, there's the block, and he's got his check, his counter. So if I just throw the punch and he blocks, now if I'm too high, I'm going to miss. If I'm too low, I'm at a slight disadvantage because I'm leaning forward slightly. So level 1 would be, there's the punch, he's coming in, he's led it round, stopped, he's checked, he's taken my arm, and then he did a strike, he can put an arm bar on there. It's what's available at the time. Simple, straightforward. He may be sitting like this, I'm coming in, he's there. Okay? But there was that light pause there between the stop and then the attack. If I increase the level up a little bit, so I'm going to be in, we're ready, we know it's a drill, I'm throwing the punch. What he's doing is not allowing me to recover from the first strike. So what we're going to do, level 2 training, but using our favourite pads. We're going to use these so we get a bit more intensity in the training. So exactly the same drill, a little bit more intensity. So even though the pads were there, I could still feel that going into stomach 9. This is what we want. So just for the moment, I'm just going to throw the punch and he's going to block and check. And more. So, same again, you're going to add on the extra bits. So, punch comes in. Now, in reality, if I hadn't put that pad there in the level 3 training, it would have carried on hitting, because that would have been my mistake. So again, even with just the pads on, a little bit more intensity. Our rule now is, if he doesn't block, he gets hit. He is not going to hit me full on 100%, but he's going to do enough to make me feel it. Okay, so the punch will be hard, the check will be hard, then we just soften it slightly. So when he punches, he's not stopping, he's actually making contact and pushing through. So when he's hitting me, he's actually making contact and applying pressure. You don't want muscle memory of stopping.
On this intensity, as Chris is coming in and I'm checking, this is full force. But when I'm actually checking him, I'm going in and pushing up. Normally I push through, but just because this is level 2, I'm using that push up.
So for the next one, he's going to go straight through. Okay, again, don't practice just level 2 because that will then become your norm. So you need to intensify the training level 3. So I'm not going to use any protective equipment, I'm just going to come in, we're just going to do that first sequence just so you can see what's going to happen.
Okay?
Okay. That wasn't even spot on target, but it did enough to stop me. So he bought that time, so when that's come in, he's there, he can move on and take the techniques. When we do this again in our next video, I will be wearing head guards, body armour and protectors, and then we will go for full assault, if you like. That will be the next stage. We're not going to do that today, but the next stage will be, if I make a mistake, I'm going to get hurt, which is why I'm wearing equipment. If he makes a mistake, he's going to get hit. If you don't expect to get hit or hurt in training, it's going to happen out in the real world. So this is something you really need to think about, and you will make mistakes and you will recover from these mistakes and be able to continue the fight. As always, I like to adapt everything with the cane. I'm going to do this very slowly on Callum. He doesn't know what's going on here, so this will be a good reaction. So he's thrown the punch, I've done my guard, I'm striking that down, so this will not change. I would strike the arm, I could go for the face, but as we always say, very dangerous. Striking, I'm then dragging that through, I'm bringing that over, I'm using my cane, I've got an extra striking lever on the head, I can drive down, I can roll that down, and then I've got all these other techniques. If I really don't like him, I can put that on, hook the leg, and go for a throw. So as all things, whatever you're carrying, adapt the technique with it. Just on a final note, at the end of every video, we say ring the bell, free the fair. People said, what are you talking about? And when we say free the fair, this is talking about doing things outside your comfort zone. Not letting other people come in and saying what you can and can't do. When we have our students in, or we go to events, we always get parents saying, oh, he can't do that, there's this wrong with him, he's got this. And we always say, no, he can. It's just going to be changed, he's going to adapt it. Things like, I have a fear of heights. So one of the things I did was a rooftop adventure in a forest and started zip lining, climbing up trees. This was like last year. So things like that, something you're not comfortable with, make yourself comfortable with it. First time I did full contact fighting, I was petrified. Within 5 minutes, I thought it was the best thing ever because I'd never done it before. I was scared about getting hurt. After 5 minutes, I didn't care. I thoroughly enjoyed myself. So it's something that grew with me. So when you talk about the fear, it's just that comfort zone. Get yourself outside that comfort zone. Taking risks. People say to me, oh, you're so old now, you can't do that, you can't do this. I've improved many areas. If you look at our interview with Chris Jones, you'll see a couple of points in there which are saying, I'm actually stronger than I was 5 years ago and more flexible. I was told I probably would never walk properly again, but I can. So when we say free the fear, normally it's that internal fear or other people's fear that they project on you. Don't allow it to get into your life. Always look for a solution or a way to adapt, overcome, and again, support. If you want any help with this or any ideas, let us know, drop us a line. We might be able to help, and we're always happy to help.
Thanks for watching, guys. We hope you liked that video. As you can see, as the intensity gains, the adrenaline starts to rush in your body and you then start to have to think a little bit quicker. If you liked it, give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, give us a thumbs down. Either way, please leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing. It's your feedback that's driving this channel. So please, leave us a message.
If you've got any suggestions for us, how we could improve on this, please let us know. As always, ring the bell, free the fear.